Joseph was special, very special to his father Jacob. Jacob loved him more than his other sons. To show this love, Jacob gave Joseph a gift, a beautiful coat of many colors. This coat was a sign of favor, a sign of love. God also had a special plan for Joseph. His hand was on this young boy. Even from his youth, he was set apart. Joseph began to have dreams. These were not ordinary dreams, they were messages from God himself. He saw the sun, moon, and 11 stars. They were all bowing down to him. He saw sheaves of grain in the field. His brothers' sheaves bowed to his sheaf. These dreams were clear pictures of a future God had planned, a future where Joseph would lead. Joseph, in his youthful openness, shared these dreams. He told his brothers what he had seen. Perhaps he did not understand how they would feel. His brothers did not understand the dreams. They did not see God's message. They saw what they thought was pride, their hearts filled with jealousy. These dreams, meant to reveal God's plan, instead created a painful distance. A rift grew between Joseph and his brothers. The colorful coat was a constant reminder. A reminder of their father's special love for Joseph. The dreams added to their growing anger. It felt like Joseph was boasting. It felt like he thought he was better. Their envy became a dark cloud. It overshadowed their brotherly love. They couldn't see the divine purpose. They only saw a favored brother, and their resentment festered day by day. The brothers' jealousy reached a boiling point. They saw Joseph coming from afar. He was coming to check on them. They were far from their father's watchful eyes. An evil idea took root in their hearts. "Here comes the dreamer," they sneered. They plotted to get rid of him, to silence his dreams forever. Their hearts had grown cold and hard. Love for their brother was gone. They grabbed Joseph. So full of hate, they tore off his beautiful, colorful coat. The coat that symbolized so much. First they threw him into an empty pit, a dark place, a lonely place, a terrifying place. Then they saw traders passing by, and they decided to sell him as a slave. For 20 pieces of silver he was sold. His freedom vanished in an instant. He was just a boy taken to Egypt alone. Yet even in slavery, God was with Joseph. He was bought by Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. Joseph worked hard in Potiphar's house. He was honest, he was faithful. Potiphar saw that Joseph was blessed. The Lord made everything Joseph did prosper, so Potiphar put Joseph in charge of his entire household. He trusted Joseph completely. Joseph found favor even in this foreign land. God's hand was still guiding him. Then came a great test of Joseph's character. Potiphar's wife looked at Joseph with desire. Day after day she tried to tempt him. She wanted him to sin with her, but Joseph refused. He stood firm. He said, "My master trusts me with everything. How could I do this great wickedness? How could I sin against God?" He chose integrity over sinful pleasure. He honored God and his earthly master. Joseph's refusal had a painful cost. Potiphar's wife was angry and vengeful. She falsely accused Joseph of attacking her. Potiphar believed her lies. He threw Joseph into the king's prison, from a trusted servant to a forgotten prisoner. It seemed so unfair, so wrong. Another dark pit in Joseph's journey, but even in the gloom of the prison, God had not abandoned Joseph. His presence remained. While in prison, Joseph's gift was still alive. Pharaoh's chief cupbearer and chief baker offended their king. They were also thrown into the same prison. One night, both men had troubling dreams. They were sad because no one could explain them. Joseph saw their distress and asked them about it. "Do not interpretations belong to God?" he said. He listened, and God gave him the meaning. He brought a flicker of hope in that dark place. He served even in his own suffering. The cupbearer was restored to his position, just as Joseph said, but he forgot Joseph for 2 long years. Joseph remained in prison, waiting. He kept trusting in God's timing. Then Pharaoh himself had disturbing dreams, dreams of fat cows and thin cows, dreams of healthy grain and withered grain. None of Egypt's wise men could interpret them. Suddenly the cupbearer remembered Joseph. God's perfect moment had finally arrived. Joseph was quickly brought from the prison. He stood before Pharaoh, the mighty ruler. Joseph was humble. He gave God the glory. "I cannot do it," Joseph said, "but God will give Pharaoh the answer." He interpreted the dreams with divine wisdom. 7 years of great plenty were coming, followed by 7 years of severe famine. He also offered a wise plan to save Egypt. Pharaoh saw God's spirit in Joseph, from prisoner to prime minister in a single day. Joseph's life teaches us about unwavering faith. Through every trial, his trust in God stood firm. Betrayal by brothers, sold as a slave, falsely accused, forgotten in prison. Yet he never seemed to lose hope in God. He believed God had a plan. Even when the path was dark and confusing, his faith was the anchor for his soul. It kept him steady through life's fiercest storms. He held on to God's unseen hand. We also see the incredible power of integrity. Joseph consistently chose the right path. He fled from Potiphar's wife's advances. He could have given in for comfort or safety, but his commitment to God was stronger. His integrity was not for sale. It cost him his freedom for a time, but in the end, it led to great honor. His pure character shone brightly. It was a testament to his deep inner strength. Joseph's journey shows us a God-given purpose unfolding. The dreams of his youth finally came true, but not for his own glory. He used his position and wisdom to save lives. He managed Egypt's food supply carefully. He saved not only Egypt, but many nations. He even saved the family who had betrayed him. What his brothers intended for evil, God masterfully turned it into immense good. His suffering had a profound redemptive purpose. So what can we learn from Joseph's story? We learn to keep faith even in the hardest times. God is working even when we cannot see it. We learn to live lives of solid integrity, doing what is right no matter the cost. We learn that each of us has a purpose. God gives us gifts to use for others. Joseph's life shouts, "You'll get through this. Trust God. Stay true. Your story isn't over. He can bring good from any situation."